Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm Adam and today we're doing the Beast Retrospective. So there's another retrospective video on the series of Beast Quest. This is one I've technically done before I started this series, when I asked the question, what is the best series of Beast Quest? And whilst my opinion varies on what I think is the best series, this was the series that I originally said as the best. So this is, as a continuation to the series, this is the 24th episode. So of course we're talking about series 24, with the series being called Blood of the Beast, and the beasts being Electro the Stormbird, Fluga the Sightless Sliverer, Morax the Wrecking Menace, and Kroko the Father of Fear. Going through each beast one by one, I'll be talking about, highlighting mainly the parts I like most about them, as well as any other things that I think are important to mention. May mention Battle of the Beasts here and there, because that is pretty much what, if you know Beast Quest and you know more about the media on it, that's pretty much what I'm known for at this point. Battle of the Beasts. That's not a problem whatsoever. I absolutely love doing the tournament, so I'll take it. Series 10 is about to debut on my channel, by the way, so shameless plug. But with that, we'll say I have done this before. I haven't done a retrospective in a while, so maybe a bit rusty, but hopefully I get the hang of it. Whether it's this video or the next one, I don't know. But with that being said, let's get into this. Starting with Electro the Stormbird. So to start things off, on the beast perspective, the design is absolutely gorgeous. It looks amazing. I love the metallic looking body of it, as well as the whole backstory behind this beast of essentially being trapped in the stony prison of his 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 no her trapped in the stony prison of her shape. I do think her illustrations, whilst few, are also great, because it really highlights the skeletalness of her, as well as the battlefield being around a pyramid area of Pylorus is quite fun as well. Abilities are a bit lackluster, so not really much I can say there, but like with Vera, she brings the storm wherever she goes. As for the fight, it was short because the story had to have a priority in this, just so we can get the actual story underway for the series, which has pretty much Tom getting corrupted from the golden armor, which was melted in the last season, so it was reforged and corrupted by Rhea. So Tom was actually the villain in this book and this entire series, but seeing Alina and Dartek get a moment in the spotlight and actually take this beast out, whilst Tom is just aimlessly flying about on this beast trying to take it down, it was mildly amusing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. Main aspect I like about Electro is the design, and there's nothing really much else I can say about that. I think it is one of the best designed beasts this series. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. Fluga the Sightless Sliverer. This beast has quite a unique design, but a bit of a repulsive one at the same time, which I guess adds to the intimidation factor of these beasts, but can knock it down a few points. But its design is still quite well detailed and actually still quite good regardless. As for fight, there's a ton of abilities rather. Its abilities are also like Electro, lacking in terms of uniqueness and range, but weaknesses, there's just more than Electro had. But Electro probably has weaknesses that just wasn't highlighted in her book, whilst Fluga has had his weaknesses highlighted. But as for the fight, tons of illustrations showing a bunch of great scenes with Fluga, most of which is pretty much dragging Tom down to the bottom of the lake in the cave and just trying to eat him. then Alina and Daltek swoop in, save Tom, let's try that again, kill Fluger by dropping stalactites over him, which was actually caused by Daltek. So Daltek actually killed this beast. It was it's fun actually, unique as well. Definitely one of the better. Well, I can't say it's one of the better, but it's one of the better water beasts in terms of uniqueness with design abilities. Well, no, design and fight, and with the execution of it still revolving around the story of Tom being evil. So Alina and Dartek are the questers. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Moving on. Up next is Morax the Wrecking Menace. So with Morax, design is probably the most simple out of every beast in this series, but it is probably one of the it's the most simple, and it's still a very effective design because you see it and immediately see it's a giant pangolin, which won't be interesting first standpoint, but then you look at the more key details with the shade of blue and black over his entire body is absolutely amazing. But then you go into the illustrations, and except for the parts where he's curled up into a ball, he just towers over everyone and everything that he sees. It's near. It's really fun to see actually, and kind of fun to go through it again. You got abilities where it is actually more diverse in range for what Morax can do. Weaknesses, there are more than what Electro has, but still a fair amount of weaknesses, and all of which can be protected by Morax. So it's quite a good threat. As for the fight, it was fun because like with Alina and Dartek being the main people fighting this beast, with Tom trying to kill it uh, unsuccessfully, but actually being the reason why Morax's downfall started, because he rammed his shield in between his armor plates. It also shown a bit of Tom fighting against the corrupted armor and saving one of the children of the monkey tribe in this story, which it added that extra level of intrigue to this story and this series as a whole. And for that, I could only give it more high marks for it. This is probably one of the best books this series. Kroko, the Father of Fear, is the finale to this series and is what is considered to a lot of people as one of, if not the best finale to any series of Beast Quest. I am on that ship of people that say this is one of the best finales for multitude of reasons. The design is absolutely incredible. I love seeing bits of the golden armor on there, but in a more darker shade, like how it was depicted in the book throughout this whole series of Tom's golden armor being black rather than gold. You got the abilities which vary depending on which person Kroko has taken control over. But in Tom's case, you got the golden armor abilities as well, which is some of the most powerful abilities you can have. You got the fight, which was absolutely incredible. Because Tom wasn't in this fight; he was Kroko. So you had two fights this book. You had the physical form of Kroko fighting Alina, Dartek, and Rhea. More Alina and Dartek, and the spiritual form, I guess, of Kroko fighting Tom. With Tom being seeing Tanner at the end of the fight after defeating Kroko and freeing himself from his corruption and making the armor turn gold again. It it was actually a great fight, and I guess a kind of full circle moment where we get to see Tom finally meet Tanner, or reunite with Tanner. I can't remember if he's already met Tanner before. But yeah, in this book though, we do learn that Kroko is not only a beast but also an entity, which possesses people to let out their more beastly side. So, best comparison to it, if you've seen Doctor Who, is like the Lazarus monster from the Lazarus Experiment with David Tennant. There's this monster hidden inside all of us, and the entity of Krokol brings it out. Once you get to the once the individual pieces from Electro, Fluger, and Morax are collected, once they are defeated, brought together, and Krokol will emerge in the castle. I think it's a interesting story here, interesting theme in here, which really kind of shows the importance of the other Series 24 beasts was still being evil like Krokol. Ultimately, they're there to just keep Krokol separated from himself, just so he doesn't come back. How Rhea was able to bring a piece of Krokol and use it to possess Tom's golden armor, I'll never know. But everything about Krokol just screams amazing, because he's got the strength matching Cobra, Ghoul of the Shadows. Whilst the intelligence is not there, he definitely has battle experience, and he's had his moments of possessing multiple people here and there. So his abilities can range from anything, really. But absolutely fantastic finale, in my opinion. And it's cool to see two fights happen in the same book, and both of which being each of the main characters versus a different form of Krokol. That's probably the highlight of this book, if you ask me. Okay, so with that being done of the individual opinion, individual viewing of this series, each beast does have their positives, some more than others, and only I would say two actually have negatives, and even then it's just one. But I would say that after finishing rereading this series, I can really say I remember more about the latter half of this series than I do about the first half, which is a shame, but Electro had potential, which I was expecting when I first read this book, and I liked it, I was just disappointed. I would have loved to see more from Electro. I would have loved to see more abilities from Electro. Fluger has his moments, but ultimately he does kind of blend into the rest of the pack in terms of water beasts, so can't really say much else there. But Morax and Krokol carry this series and change it from what is a solid series or good series to a great one. So overall, if I would say it's still the best series, personal opinion, no. On the fan base perspective, where we finally got a series where Tom is the villain, technically, I guess it can be considered one of the best ones. But the more I'm thinking about it, and I need to think more about this off camera, I don't know if this would be the series that fans would go to, as in like, yes, wanted it. Obviously, Alina having time to shine is something which some fans absolutely wanted for a long time and are absolutely thrilled that she finally got. One of them is me. But then you got Tom kind of being seen as the villain in this series, and some people that are diehard Tom fans may be a bit disappointed by it. So it's a bit of a double-edged axe there, where you have the good points, but you also have the bad points. Ultimately, it's a great series to me, and I understand the reasons why Jack is not overly keen on this series and why it's not the best one to him, or even one of the best ones. But what I will say is, though, I do think he is probably being a bit harsh on this series. So I think unless Jack can tell us, make a video of his own, and actually explain why his opinion on Series 24 is what it is. Same with Series 22, by the way, because I'm still flabbergasted about that one. I don't think I'll understand it. I want to know what the issue is with Series 24 that makes Jack say it's just okay. And if he uses the word overrated, I may agree, but I'll most likely disagree. And the chair will be thrown at him. No, I'm joking. But with that being said, there's only one more thing left to do, and that is to rank the books from my least favorite to favorite. So it is obvious which one's my least favorite here, and of course, to no one's surprise, it's Electro the Stormbird. This, if this beast is not the least favorite of any of someone's ranking for the beast in this series, I would love to know what Fluger done to deserve being least favorite. But Electro's shafted simply because of the story having to actually have an intriguing plot, and Electro paid the price for it. If Electro and Fluger swapped around, then Fluger would have been my least favorite. Electro would have had more development and been able to be more of a better beast. But we didn't get that, and unfortunately, Electro paid the price. At least he starts what is a great series, and in Lucas's case, the best beast story-wise opening a series. So that is that's a great mantle to have. However, for me and Jack, who ranked him on the beast perspective, we didn't rank him very high. Hey ho. Third place, we have Fluger the Sightless Sliverer. Now, for Fluger, the reason being for him is that his abilities are just a bit naff. There's nothing really special about his abilities which scream amazing, and he does fall into the middle of the pack when it comes to water beasts in terms of endearing and likable. Not to mention, tidal impacts ended a while ago in terms of Battle of the Beasts, and Fluger did not do well enough to even stand out. And for that, I can't say my opinion's gone up for him. And that's a shame. I absolutely adore Fluger. Well, used to. Now I can only say, yeah, he's solid. Moving on to second place, and this beast was my favourite of this series. I need to stress that. But in terms of Battle of the Beast, for the sole reason why he's ranked second now, is because I have not used him since the All Generation Tournament. Second place is Morax the Wrecking Menace. Okay, so Morax the Wrecking Menace, for those of you who do not know from the older tournaments of Battle of the Beast, this was a beast that was a force to be reckoned with. In the New Generation Tournament, he was eliminated in the semi-finals by the eventual winner of the tournament, in a bit of a controversial take. And in the All Generation Tournament, he was eliminated by I believe, the third place beast of that tournament. And that beast went on to win Reptile Rampage, by the way. But he was eliminated by a future winner, who's not the winner of that tournament. It took the power of a victor, 2 victors, to take him down. 2. Fantastic beast. Definitely one of my favorite beasts in general. The reason why he's second place right now is because I have not had the chance to use him in Battle of the Beast for a while now. And I forgot the joy I had when I used Morax. Don't worry. So, as of this current point in time, I have mostly, there's just a few more battles left, but I've mostly finished recording Series 11 of Battle of the Beasts. And afterwards is a series of Battle of the Beasts where I believe Morax is drafted for this. So after that series, maybe Morax will have his chance to shine and be my favorite of this series once again. But also drafted in that tournament is Kroko, the Father of Fear. And he is my favorite beast of Series 24 right now. And the weird thing is, it's not even Kroko that made that. It's not even Kroko that made this beast be my favorite of this series is more along the lines of how Transformation Takedown went when Cobra changed into Kroko. And I was just using Kroko through Cobra to win him the entire tournament. I do not know how that works, but yeah, Kroko is my favorite of the series because it's actually, in my opinion, the definition of the word perfect when it comes to a story coming full circle and the beast being intimidating, strong, great abilities, unique abilities depending on who he possesses. The fight, absolutely incredible. And if Beast Quest ended here, I would have been happy. I would have been happy with it. But then I wouldn't get the glory that is known as Lycaxa. So, you know what? It's a good thing that Beast Quest did not end here. But I will say, Kroko is my favorite beast of Series 24 right now. And it's not even close, I'm afraid. Morax has his chance to come back and redeem himself to be my favorite. But I'm afraid because of lack of usage for Morax for Battle of the Beasts, it goes to Kroko. So I'm just like every other plain Jane there is. But with that, here we go. This is the Series 24, Blood of the Beast. This is probably one of the seasons which, when I was collecting these books again, after my bit of a hiatus from collecting them when Series 9 was brand new, god damn. When Series 9 was brand new, I kind of went on a bit of a hiatus from collecting these books. And then, out of nostalgia, I came across Lucas. He was doing Series 13 at the time when I first started talking to him. Wow. I'm just realizing how long ago that was. But we got to chatting, and when he finished reading Series 24, and I've just finished the old generation, he said, You're going to love Series 24. I asked why. He said, I'm not going to tell you. And I was like, oh, okay. Suspense. All right. Leave me in suspense. All right. So I eventually got to Series 24, and oh my God, was he right? He was right. Fantastic series. Nothing's going to change it. If you haven't read this series, I do highly recommend it. But for the best experience, read every other series building up to this one. And if you're going to skip one series, skip Series 11. Maybe Series 16 as well, but Series 17 needs Series 16. I believe Series 12 means Series 11. But you know what? If you're going to skip a series, simply because of how unimportant it is from everything happening in each series of Beast Quest, skip Series 14. I think that's the only series you can skip because it has nothing that changes the universe after the series. And it's one that's actually kind of meh because Series 15 also doesn't change much, but Series 15 is good. I'll die on that hill. But with that, Series 24, Beast Quest Retrospective, done. Again. So with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell below. If you've got any other ideas for other videos I can do in between the retrospective videos, please feel free to say. But until then, I'll see you next time.